Hello and welcome to the channel. I'm Cindy Daychuk with Queen Bee Creations, and today we're going to be doing some Christmas holiday crafts from all dollar store items. So, it doesn't need to be super expensive to be able to do some fun things with your kids on your own, to be able to zhuzh up your tree, decorate the house, whatever you've got going. So, first thing that we're going to be doing, we're going to do some little Christmas trees. Now these can be shelf sitters, or the smaller ones could be with some ribbon to hang from your Christmas tree, whatever you would like. So to start, you need to get some of the tumbling blocks from the dollar store. Now I have them in 3 different sizes because I use them for all kinds of different crafts. Obviously, the larger the size, the larger the tree. Go figure. I'm gonna make a little one. So I have the smaller of the Jenga blocks, and you are going to need 6 of the Jenga blocks to be able to make the tree, and then 1 for the base. You can use a Jenga block for the base. You can go to a bigger Jenga block for the base. You can go for a little wood round, which I also bought a bag of these from the dollar store. So I'm gonna use this and make a small skinny tree, which is perfect for hanging, but you can use the bigger dollar store as well. So pretty simple. I use 1 for measuring so that when I'm gluing them together, I'm always gluing them the same width, and I just use 1 of my blocks to do that. I just need to get a dab of hot glue on one little end and glue it onto the other end. And I'm just using this block. Let me make sure I get them straight. I'm just using this block to determine how wide I'm going to glue, just so that it's all the same when I go to put it together. And I'm just doing, for this little tree, I'm just doing the 3 branches. So I need, this is one side of my tree, and I need another one, which I've already done, so that when I put them together, let me get my fingers out of the way. When I put them together, it forms my tree. And obviously then it's going to be shaped differently depending upon the base. So this big wide base, we'd be making a big wide tree. When I'm using this little base, it's a pretty skinny narrow tree. And so to finish this, to finish our form, we're just going to put a little bit of glue along the top. And I just kind of hold it on my base. I mean, it's not glued onto my base yet, but I just hold it there so that the top has a chance to be able to glue together. You could do the top last if you'd like. Really, whatever you'd rather. And then just put some glue along each side of the base, and we're just going to attach it onto whatever base we're using. Hold it in place until it dries enough that it's not going to fall apart if you remove your fingers. And then you're done this. All that you need to do now is paint it out. So paint it in whatever color is going to work for you. You can add whatever little embellishments that you'd like. Are you done? You're staying? No, you're not quite done. So you can add whatever embellishments that you'd like. So let me show you a couple. So this is one done in the same size. So I've used the little wood block. I've just done a couple of little gold balls on the side and a little tiny wreath, all of which I got from the dollar store. And this is the same kind of version in the white, right? With some little red bells. No, those are little red Decor balls. This one was done with the medium-sized Jenga and using that same piece for the base. So sorry, the same little pieces. This is the same medium, small pieces with a medium Jenga for the base. So you can see how the size of the base changes that shape of the tree. And then, whoops, and then this last one was made with the larger Jenga blocks and just some, again, some little gold snowflakes from the dollar store and a little teddy bear from the dollar store as well. So very versatile in terms of what you do. This size, I think, is more of a shelf sitter. I think these little ones, easily you could attach a little loop and hang from your Christmas tree. So super cute little Christmas trees from dollar store Jenga blocks. Next up, we're gonna make some little snowmen for the Christmas tree. And to do that, we're gonna start with some styrofoam balls. And I have 3 sizes of balls. So I have kind of a slightly larger, medium, and a small. And for my snowman, I'm not going to do the triple snowman. I'm just looking at doing 2 different sizes. So what I do want to do is I want to attach these together. Now you could just glue them together, but I want to get going. And sometimes the hot glue kind of melts your snowman a bit. The only other thing that I want to do is now that I have a bottom, I just want to take my finger and kind of push it so it has a bit of a flat bottom to it, right? And if you do that, then you have a way to be able to make your snowman stand once you're done. So I'm going to do that one, and I'm going to do, oh, you might be a little too long. Toothpick works perfectly for this. I don't have any in the shop, so I cut down an extra large skewer, which is a little bit of overkill for this. Now, if you wanted, you could be done at this point with the styrofoam. I mean, you could now just decorate it up. They're white and you're good to go. However, I'm going to paint them because they look like styrofoam balls. So I just am using paint to mask what they are. In which case, this is an unnecessary step if you would prefer to just get on with it. If you'd rather just kind of continue on, I just want to get my little base. And again, you don't have to have a base for them if you're going to be hanging them. I dropped my paintbrush. Okay, there we go. So if you're just going to be hanging them, then you don't need to worry about the base in any way. But I am going to get these painted out. And, you know, really just one quick coat of paint, but it's just going to kind of even it out. It masks that they're styrofoam a little bit. And it's just a me thing, perhaps. Our little snowmen have dried, so let's look at finishing them off. Now, you can do virtually anything for the top, but because these are little Christmas ornaments, usually I like to do things that are going to be fairly quick if I'm going to have to be making a bunch of them. So what I'm doing for the hat is I am taking a pair of dollar store mittens, and these are just $1. These are very small kids mittens, and I am cutting off the top. Now, cut off one finger. This is a fairly fat head on this guy, so I'm cutting it fairly long. And what I'm doing just beforehand is I'm just taking a needle with a little bit of red cording on it, and I'm just pulling it through the top. And this is going to be my hanger. So You know what, you could do it afterward, but just in case you pull it really tight to the head, you know what, I just find it easier to do it first. Whatever works for you. And then I'm going to pull it down as far as I can over his head. Now, because his head's fairly big and this is fairly small, you're probably not going to get it all the way down, but you don't need it all the way down. I just need it to stretch over top of him. Look how cute that is. And then I'm just going to take a little bit of hot glue. And now that I know how far down I can get it, I'm going to tack the sides. And then I'll do the same front and back. All right. So then you can just take markers. I'm just using 2 Sharpies, an orange, because I'm going to want to draw in his little carrot nose. And I just find it easiest to draw the carrot nose first. And then I can simply put in his little button eyes and his mouth. And if I want buttons going down, then I can draw them in. Now you could glue on little buttons or little bells or little, I mean, you embellish it however you want. I'm just taking a little tiny sprig of greenery and I'm just going to glue this in, coming down across his chest a little bit. And I have thick cord. Now all of this, so the little glove was from the dollar store. This cording is from the dollar store. And that little sprig of greenery was off a little branch. So all I'm doing now is I just want to get the right sizing. Glue that one down. And then this one across. And look how cute he is. So we've got him. I swear I have the little one somewhere. Okay. Did the same thing on the little guy. I just cut him closer to the tip of the... And then we've got cute little ornaments to be able to put on a Christmas tree, little snowman ornaments that are super quick to do up, but also super inexpensive. Everything, I've got glue on my finger. Everything from the dollar store. The next one. Okay, here we go. I got these wood rounds from the dollar store. Now you could use, if your dollar store doesn't have these, you could use shower curtain rings. I put a little eye hook in the top, which is also from the dollar store in the picture hanging hardware aisle. And all that I've done is I painted them white. So no magic here. White paint of your choice. And all that we are going to do is we are just going to cut some ribbon to be able to tie them. So dead easy on this one. We need our hot glue gun. I bought a bag of little baby sisal trees from the dollar store. And we are going to take wire cutters and cut off the base. So you can see how it's got the little wire trunk and then the base. They're too big to stand up nicely in my ring. But if I cut off that base and I take some hot glue and hold it in place, I can stand it right up in the middle of my ring. And then I will take my ribbon through the top. I'm just kind of holding it up while it's still drying there so it doesn't dry crooked. And I'm just going to tie this off. Then I have a tiny little bow that I'm just going to glue at the top to finish it off. All right, my knot skills. My knot skills are not there. Tiny ribbon, big fingers. All right, there we go. Let me just cut that off so it's a little cleaner looking. And there we go. Now this is one too, if you wanted, you could put a little bow on the other side so if it flips over on your tree. But the other thing that I have is I also thrifted a little tiny bag, not thrifted, I bought from the dollar store, a little bunch of little teddies. Now he's got a little red bow on him, so our little red bow at the top is going to be super cute. He's just going to look like he's sitting in a swing. Now, when you're doing a lot of these ornaments, so doing them for your tree, doing them for a market because you're going to sell them, they're obviously very inexpensive, so they're a low price point if you were doing a market or a bazaar. One of the things, okay, you just sit there and dry. One of the things is that you're going to want the look to be pretty consistent. So making a bunch of little bows, you just want them to be roughly the same size. So here's the magic for that. Pretty simple. Take a fork and you're just going to take your ribbon, cross it in front. So I'm just holding it in front with my thumb. I'm just going to take my ribbon and I'm going to wrap it around twice until it crosses easily down in front. So now I'm just holding those two tails, right? So I have the two tails. I take a piece of wire. You could take a piece of string or thread if you want. Put it through the middle tine. Okay, so I have a little piece of wire sticking out the back. Put it through the middle tine. Pull them tight. Pull this off. Take the two little bow tops forward so that you can twist your wire closed. I'm then going to take scissors, not those scissors, and cut my wire because it's very fine. And then just cut that last little tail. So I can make a bunch of bows that are all the same kind of size very quickly, very easily. And so there's no muss, there's no fuss. And I've got cute little bows that are going to be the same size for my project. And look how cute he is in his little swing. So we have two different looks. But again, you could find, what else does your dollar store have? They may have other little shapes. They may have like a star that you could glue in there and that you could do. You're going to find all kinds of little ones that you're able to put in and just create a whole series of you know, little hanging ornaments that are very quick, very easy to be able to do. If you are using, let's say these are wood, so I was able to screw in the eyelet. If you had maybe the plastic shower curtains, holders, right, the rings, just take your ribbon through the loop, right? Not a problem. Pretty easy for these as well if you wanted to just glue a little greenery around and make them into little mini wreaths that you're going to hang from the tree as well. So lots of options for using those rings from the dollar store to be able to create a lot of cute little ornaments for your tree. Okay, for this last project, I have this little kind of sprig from the dollar store. I mean, it's a little bit of a misnomer. It was $4. But I have it. And what I'm looking at is using this as the base to create a little bit of a you know, just a little bit of a hanger. Now, this is something that you could put onto your door if you wanted. You could hang in front of a large cabinet, hang in front of a mirror in your home. So it's going to have some flexibility as to where and how we use it. I'm just splaying it out a little bit more. So zhuzhing it out a little bit more because, you know, it's okay, but it's not quite as full as I would like. So I do have some leftover sprigs from other, oh, everything is falling on my glue gun. From just other little projects, other little pieces off of some dollar store swags. And so I'm just going to use them in here as a little teeny tiny bit of filler. So adding just a little bit of greenery. I mean, that's just 2 little pieces so far. And I have some little berries that, I'll save the berries. Let me just see. I'm looking at whether this is a little thing of balls from the dollar store. And I'm looking at, oh Lord. Okay, just dump them out everywhere, Cindy. I don't want the white ones. I need those for another project. I actually bought these just for the white ones. So there you go. It's the way it goes sometimes. All right. So I'm just going to add in a little bit more, color and get a couple of those red balls added in. Just up here by this big pine cone, right? So we're putting those up there. Keep moving it. It's not giving it a chance to dry at all. I might want, I'm just looking. This was a little bag that I got from the dollar store that had some little pine cones in it, some little white berries, another little sprig. But I might want that sprig right up in there actually. So again, all more glue. All dollar store items. There we go. No, I don't like you there. Okay, maybe just a bunch of these berries, but I don't want the stems showing. So let me get the stems cut off because these are all glued in one big clump anyway. This was from another dollar store pick that I used a bunch of the greenery, but I didn't need all the berries. Everything ultimately has its use, does it not? Okay, and I think maybe just a couple of little Christmas balls coming down. Now we are going to create just a tinge more drama on this one. Once we have the basics in place. Do I need another pine cone here? And we'll just add one more pine cone. Okay, so if that's all in place, let me just show you what we got so far. So it's a little bit fuller. What we are looking at doing, I have these big plastic balls, and I chose the plastic deliberately in case somebody wants to use this outside. So the first thing that I want to do is I actually want to glue that hook onto my ball. I just need it in a couple of spots, just to kind of hold it in place. We're gonna go over that. We're gonna cover it. But I just wanna make sure that it's anchored and not going to come off. And in fact, somewhere on this table, there we go. There's a second one. So, easiest way to decorate this. Here's the thing. When these are outside, I find that if they're colored balls, the stuff just wears off them very quickly if they move and they bang against each other. So instead, what I have are socks from the dollar store. So I have two just for a little bit of contrast, but they're both red, they're both fluffy. And we're going to, now, this takes a little bit of work. Okay, I'm starting this way. But we're going to get our ball inside of this. There we go. Once you get it started, it's fine. And the nice thing about these is that they do go up past that loop. So I like to take a bit of wire to be able to just hold that in place. I mean, you saw how hard it was to get on. It's not like it's coming off, but I want to kind of tie this off, but I'm tying it off just slightly below that hanging hook on it, so that I'm going to still be able to hang it when it comes time. You could use an elastic here. I just have the wire sitting here and I don't know where the heck elastics might be. They're here somewhere. And then we're able to just cut this off. And just leave it as a bit of a fringe. To finish our big balls off, we just want to take a little bit of greenery, just zhuzh them up a little bit. So we're just going to take some of this, whatever you have on hand. We're going to glue that down in place. And I have a couple of little red berries here that will just hang also. And I'm just kind of taking the stem up around there. Now, we have this big ruffle at the top, and what I like to do is I like to cover up all of my ends here. So I just glue that down in place, just as kind of a bit of a ruffle. And then that way, any of those stems that you've got glued down, they've got extra protection, but we also don't see them. So it just kind of gives it a little bit more of a finish. So we glue that all down. So we've got our cute ball. And now we just need to attach it. So I took a big piece of cording, that same cording that I used on our little snowman from the dollar store, and I just looped it into the back. And we're just going to use this to tie off in that loop that we anchored down onto I just want to see distance-wise. I'd like them a little bit lower. There we go. Right. Let's take a look at some of our finished projects here. Now we started off with our little Jenga Christmas trees, and we could do these as little shelf sitters. This one I did afterward. I thought, oh, maybe I should have done one in just the natural wood. So with a little bit of greenery on the sides, that same little stump that comes in a bag at the dollar store, and a little pine cone. So little shelf sitters, or you could certainly hang these smaller ones from your Christmas tree, which is awesome. We did a couple of little snowmen. So again, you could vary the size depending upon the styrofoam balls that you start with. I really do like them painted out the white. You know, they're nice little sizes. Because they're in the white, they're just gonna kind of pop nicely on the tree. Okay, you guys just lean. Just take a break, take a rest. There you go. We also did our little rings. So, you know, we've got 2 different styles that we had done, but certainly stray glue. Certainly you could do this same concept with just about anything in the center. The little sisal trees, those little mini ones, easy to find. And so again, another little ornament. And then we did our bigger project, again, all from the dollar store, which is, let me back up a little bit, just taking, the only thing that I did off camera, just, you know, when I cut off the spike and I turned it down, it just needed a little bow. So I just add a little bit of a bow from some ribbon that I also got from the dollar store. These are just socks from the dollar store to be able to do it, and just adding a little bit of embellishment onto a sprig that we got, a little pick that we got from the dollar store as well. This is gonna look cute on somebody's door, hanging over, you know, picture frame, or in front of a big mirror if you have one in your hallway or something. Great little way to be able to just zhuzh that up a little bit. I had promised you guys that I would do some things that were all from dollar stores, so they were affordable, they were easy to find, you know, and all things that I bought this season. And I hope that there's something in there that gives you some inspiration to go out and try some new crafts, whether for a bazaar or a marketplace or for your own tree. Let me know what you think of these ones, guys. You know, I'm kind of digging them. This was kind of a fun little challenge for me. Only dollar store items that I bought this season, and thank you to those of you that requested this. I look forward to seeing you on the next one, and until then, take care.